Hi everyone, Eric Nelson here once again, and thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel. For today, I am back with another book review on Tegon Mouse's My Grandfather's Pants. So yes, I am reviewing another great book by Tegon Mouse. But unlike most of his other books that deal with with material from the science fiction world, this is actually a romantic comedy with a little bit of supernatural aspects. But since I already labeled this as a romantic comedy, the supernatural aspects are only secondary. And I know that I have called Tegon Mouse the new grandfather of science fiction, and usually when somebody calls an author or a filmmaker the grandfather or grandmother of a certain genre, that usually means that person or artist, I should say, only specializes in that certain genre. But after reading this book and his other book that I reviewed not too long ago, the Chronicles of Tucker Littlefield, which was more of like a fairy tale, I say that he can write anything, that his mind is full of imagination in every genre. Now I'm not sure if he would be the new grandfather of any of those other genres, but I still think that he could make a great story from any genre. But in this book, my grandfather's pants actually centers around the it actually centers around the ordinary Joe by the name of Jack Laskin, and he lives in a small town of Southern California, and that is called Redlands. And he lives all alone, but he has an off again, on again relationship with literally the woman next door of him, whose name is Connie, and he runs his father's old hardware old hardware store. And it seems like the only baggage that he has is his overbearing mother, whose name is Claire. And even though I sort of see it as a little bit of baggage, it seems like Jack is just sort of used to his mother having her own way, and he just sort of accepts it as a norm. And but I think he accepts it as a norm is because he doesn't really have to is that he really doesn't have to deal with it a whole lot, because his mother lives in a retirement home. Even though a lot of times her friends from the retirement home come by his house unexpectedly, but I will dig into that more later. But one day, Claire actually gives Jack a pair of his grandfather's a pair of his grandfather Henry's old pants, which is actually 30 years old, and he's appalled by the pair of pants because the age of the pair clearly shows. I mean, it's ripped, it's ripped up left and right. But as usual, Claire begs and begs until she gets her way, and Jack decides, all right, what harm will it have on me? I'll put them on. And when he puts them on, that's where the magic happens. Now, when I said magic, I actually did this because it's not really clear as to whether or not the magic is real or not. And I like how Tegon Maus does this by having us, the audience, make up our own mind as to whether or not the magic is all in Jack's mind or if it's for real. And now without giving too much away, let's just say the magic is connected to him feeling like somebody else, as well as his friends and family seeing him as someone else. Now, is this someone else someone that that Jack once knew from a long time ago, since it was his grandfather's pants? Or maybe not. Well, that's up to you, the reader, to read. And as I said before, like how he did with his other book that I had reviewed previously, the Chronicles of Tucker Littlefield, Tegon Maus has come out of his comfort zone of sci-fi and brought us this romantic this romantic comedy with just a little bit of magic magic, and he gave us a really great book that we can all love and laugh at. And when I say laugh at, I really mean it's maybe not no, not laugh at the book, but laugh at the situations in the book. And Tegon Maus has always had humor in all of his books, including his sci-fi books. But here he uses his sense of humor to its full advantage. An example of that is Claire and her friends from the retirement home always popping up by Jack's house whenever he has Connie over, and they actually attempt to help them, or help uh, they actually try to help their relationship, meaning Jack and Connie's. Now, because I said help like that, is it really a big help? Not so, but it does deliver a lot of laughs. Now, I know I said in the beginning that I was waiting for Mr. Mouse's new sci-fi book, if there is one coming out. But after reading this book, I have to say that I'm really just waiting for his next book, no matter what it is, because I know it will be a great one. So you can get this book anywhere, and I hope to see you all at the bookstore or the iBookstore.